Cool. Yay.
Yay! All right, we're on camera. I got a new mic.
You're on camera now, yeah. So now we're 10 times better.
I know.
And down a person, so
I
does
know.
that reset us back to 1?
We have to do 33% more work.
Yeah, and that's math.
That is math.
That's what I do on a daily basis now.
I don't.
I would say that you have the better end of the deal, but I love math and I like doing data analyst work, so I'll take it.
No, in all honesty, there have been moments at my the job that I'm at now, which I'm leaving and going to a different position, where I had to do some data, and we talked about it, and it was really fun and it was really enjoyable, and now I'm just going to be putting out fires, which is fine, but also like
that could be fun in itself too.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be okay. I'm not like it'll be. I'm actually really excited for this new role, but it scratched an itch, like doing Power BI stuff is great.
I love it. It's all I do now.
Oh,
I just build stuff, code things, make dashboards, do math. It's great.
Math. So I guess we should introduce ourselves because we're down a person. So
people know who we are.
I think at this point,
yes, we're down a mic today, and not the recording one, unfortunately. Right. Mike's got family things going on, so it's just me and Shawnee Boy holding down the fort.
And to be fair, I brought a mic, which is a separate mic, which is hopefully our audience is listening and saying, "Hey, he sounds a lot better today." That is why.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot more clear. You can hear him better, and I can see him so much better.
Turning off my little air conditioner so that way when you go to edit this, you are not cursing my very name.
I appreciate you.
I appreciate you. All right.
Hey. All right. So do you want to just hop into things?
Let's just jump into it.
I feel like that's all we can do is just talk. So let's do this. This is like the quickest jumping into that we've ever had on the podcast.
I'm saying. So,
all right,
Adam, I'm going to ask you a question.
Hang on. I didn't change the number to the podcast, and I almost said the wrong one.
Oh.
This is the Ramblepack podcast, episode 63, and I am Adam.
And I am Sean.
And what do you want to tell me?
Back to it. So, what are your thoughts on AI?
We're really getting into that now. I have a feeling I know where you're going with that right off the bat. So, we've talked about AI on the podcast a few times, and my general consensus on AI overall is that it's fine. And I only say it's fine because of my technical background and understanding that people don't know what AI actually means. They seem to think, like a lot of the general populace says, AI is bad, it's going to take over, it's going to do this and that. The problem with it is that it's as smart as you make it, it's trained on the information you give it, and you are in control of that whole thing. It's just a more fancy chatbot sitting on top of a bunch of information made by these big corporations.
You can't, if we're not sharing video on this, I'm pointing to you in agreement. That I agree 100%. Okay. But
we have not shared video yet, but once I plan to get a better computer and a better webcam. So once I do that, I think maybe we'll get on top of that. We'll see. Sometimes we do the screen capture and like play around with it, but it never really works out great. I also don't have a lot of time to do video editing, so I just usually throw in the background and then make it up.
It's almost like you have 2 kids and a full-time job and
10 animals, like
10
literally.
Animals. Yeah. Whew.
Yeah.
So the reason I ask is, how do you feel about AI taking jobs? We'll go with the one word answer.
Okay. Wait, I'm sorry. Well, your thing cut out.
Sorry.
I'm fine with it. It's fine. What was your question?
So you're fine with AI taking jobs?
No, I'm not fine with it taking jobs.
Okay.
I'm more fine if it would make the make the easier jobs obsolete, so that way people that are in these positions can move up and learn more like they want to do and have the abilities to get into the positions that they want.
Again, I agree with you, friend. But the reason I bring this up is, how do you feel about when AI takes jobs, and then the company that uses AI to then eliminate those jobs uses AI to then advertise for hiring for more jobs?
Who are you referring to?
I'm referring to Xbox.
Oh,
Xbox.
you're talking. I know. I'm sorry. I told you guys about that. That was, or no, that was two different things. We're complaining two things. Go ahead. You talk about that story, and I'm going to fill in the other part of the layoffs, because I don't think I covered that when we talked about the layoffs last time.
Totally. So they very recently, Xbox famously now has eliminated 9,000 jobs, and part of the problem with eliminating all of these jobs is that they have to now advertise to rehire some of those positions. So, fittingly, because AI took those jobs, Xbox used AI to generate an advertisement to hire more people. So,
We know that AI is being adopted in a lot of companies, but this is this is not the right timing for Xbox to be doing this.
yeah, and I will let me see if I can copy this image because I'm looking at it right now. Put it into chat.
Let's see it.
It is pretty funny.
What? I didn't see this.
It
What?
is. So
Is
you
is
can't.
the picture supposed to be transparent or something? You're
Yeah.
supposed to be able to see through that?
So to describe this to the people at home, the advertisement is a green background, a person typing on a computer, and because AI doesn't know how reality works, the screen on the computer, which is facing away from you, so the person looking at the screen, ostensibly you should not see the screen, but they inverted it so now you can see things on the back of the screen because AI doesn't know how screen works. It is very funny.
Hmm. And just think, last year we were seeing things with like weird distorted faces or hands or what, three fingers on a hand and like a foot where a hand is supposed to be and weird shit like that.
I
I
mean,
will say that AI's come a long way, and
yeah,
sure, that's great.
right.
I'm happy to see these increases in technology or these upgrades in technology and stuff, but like I don't think it should come at the cost of other people building it.
Totally. I
And
100%
and,
agree.
and just to hop on that too, during I want to say it was during Games Fest or something. It was literally the same day that the layoffs happened and the news was making the rounds. There was also the people at the event for Xbox was touting an AI in the industry like talk. So it's like that you would have to have put off these layoffs for later, or cancel this event because it's not a good look. But I imagine that it's just a business decision that they have to roll with. But it just didn't look good.
I mean, again, I think based on the conversation we had in the last podcast, the prospect of people going on the breadline, it's not good. It is,
Never.
but it is wildly funny to me that using bad AI to advertise for jobs, it is funny and tragic. It is like laughing at a clown that fell down the stairs.
How do you feel about making an AI that takes care of something that you need for the company, but then it ends up laying you off?
I mean, I would feel horrible about that.
So that's I think I mentioned this to you guys earlier too. King, which believe it or not, Xbox owns them. I don't believe that it was part of the layoffs. This was more of a King decision. But the developers of Candy Crush and them have created their own AI things to make level generation and stuff a lot easier. But in doing so, the company has decided to lay off 200 employees and said, yeah, we're just going to change how things work. Like their teams, they're going to change. They're solely going to be focusing on AI for creation of things. They're changing up how some of the team stuff is, so that way those that are in those that are in unions end up not having any kind of work to be done during the summer. And it's just like you had these people make a device, make something that helps with game development, only to say, yeah, thanks, we don't need you now.
Right.
Who's going to take care of the AI when it starts messing up? Who's going to fix the problems when this thing goes wrong?
No, totally. And I think that's the thing, right? People see the bottom line. Oh, why do we need to charge? Why do we need to pay Jim? Who's been doing Candy Crush levels for the past 10 years? We can just have.
Yeah, we don't need Jim.
Right. Oh, Jim.
Damn you, Jim.
Damn you, Jim. That is tragic. Wow, and because again, I pulled up the article. I guess they're laying off people who are actually making very reasonable, qualms about the fact that they're laying off people for AI.
Yeah, it seems like it's retaliatory too. Retaliatory? Yeah, like because shit's happening and people are speaking up. They're like, okay, you can go too. And it's not just Candy Crush that's being laid off too. Apparently, it's the Farm Hero Saga team is being cut in half, like including like key leadership for the team too. So it's just it's like once they got, I know it's completely a business decision, and it probably helps make them more money as if they need it, but it just doesn't look good.
Woof. Woof, woof, woof. Not good. And you would think that the company that makes a game called Candy Crush would be full of joy, and turns out not quite so much. But oh man, in its heyday, I'm not the biggest fan of casual games. If you love them, that is totally fine.
I play Gems of War casually. That's a mobile game.
I mean, I played
It's good for downtime.
totally. I think 10 years ago I was playing Clash of Clans, and oh yeah,
I don't know anyone that's played that, so you're gonna have to tell me all about it later.
well, I don't know what it's like now because it's still going, it's still kicking. It's just
I'm sure it's probably changed too.
oh yeah,
They're keeping updating with the times, unlike some people.
unlike some people.
I want to read a quote from the article too. I don't see a name. Oh, it's just one staffer. I'm guessing they're being kept anonymous. But it says, the fact AI tools are replacing people is absolutely disgusting, and it's all about efficiency and profits, even though the company is doing great overall. Harkens back to Xbox's message when they were laying off the people too. If we're introducing more feedback loops, then it's crazy to remove the developers themselves. We need more hands and less leadership. That is so fucking true.
I'm telling you, too many chefs, not enough cooks.
Too many cooks in the kitchen, and that is absolutely what is wrong with Xbox and how they're handling last gen and this gen.
Right.
Like, I don't want to jump into all that again, but it's just like when they went on the spending spree just so they can get Activision Blizzard and all these other little studios, and Sony was buying up their studios and things like that. Where am I going with this? It's just they buy that, then they lay off everybody because they have to make up the money on the back end, but then you're also losing out on your investment anyway.
Right. I mean, and I hate to use the term because, again, I've worked for one and it was fine, but it's a startup mentality. You have the least amount of people doing the most amount of shit, and then you sell the company and you make a quick buck, and the idea is there's no longevity. You don't plan for the future. You plan for your next quarter, not the next 10 years.
Right.
Not good, man.
As I say, it takes all kinds.
Yeah, you know what? To be fair, there's going into another, and I'll put on this one. Was it Gabe Newell? Gabe Newell.
Everybody knows Gabe.
Oh, everybody knows Gabe. Oh,
if
Valve.
you don't, he's the creator of Valve.
Yes.
Owner of Valve, creator, and they made Steam.
And again, I'm just going to take this again because this is like my.
You are our internet sleuth when we're on the podcast, man.
I sent a picture, and again, if you want to
look
look
so
it up,
comfy.
He is sitting on his boat. He is relaxing,
playing a Steam Deck.
He looks like everybody's like older dad, like somebody of my age's dad. You know what I mean? Like,
okay.
your 60-year-old pops. I don't know how old he is. He might be my. I have no idea. He's probably like in.
I don't really talk to my dad, so I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now, my stepdad is in his 60s, so we'll go with that.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah. And my father-in-law too.
Aw. My thing looking at him, he looks like he listens to Jimmy Buffett. He looks like he has gone to Margaritaville. He was just touting what his workday looks like, even though he has stepped away from Valve. One of the things that he says he does is he takes 2 scuba diving excursions every day, which it's nice.
That's
nice.
Crazy, yeah.
I mean, I
it's
guess
nice to be able to do that too, but like for Gabe, that's not something I would have expected.
Oh, right. You would think like, I mean, I don't know. You would think that he would be in his he would be in his I don't know, fortress of solitude, surrounded by computer screens. But no, he is living the life.
So when did he step away from Valve? Like he's still leading Valve, right? Or is he completely done? 'Cause I don't think I knew that.
So I guess he's still leading it, but I think he's just stepping back a bit from being like he still like goes to like cons and shit, you know?
Right, but he's doing like things in a limited capacity.
Yeah, and I guess so. Looking at the article, evidently he, like Musk, have started a brain chip company.
Him and Musk?
No. He in the same vein as Musk. He has his own like billionaire founded. We're going to put microchips in your brain, which again, on the face of it, is either the scariest or the coolest thing that's ever going to happen.
Cyberpunk, man, we're getting one step closer.
Oh, that's a good tangent. We're gonna follow up on that one later. Okay. And evidently he is. So his company is called Starfish Neuroscience. Pretty cool. That's
Interesting
a nice
name.
But I guess it's because he also has a company called Inkfish, which is a marine research operation. You know what?
That's cool.
I still jibe by the idea that there are no ethical billionaires. But at the same time, if you're a billionaire, you're saving sea life, rock on, man. You know?
There's probably some out there. Like, there are some my goodness, I cannot get my words right today. There are some billionaire philanthropists out there that will throw money at things like that. And I'm happy to know that Gabe is one of those.
Tony Stark.
Unlike Bobby Kotick. Do you know all that stuff about him?
No. Lay it on me.
There's a handful of podcasts we talked about covering all that. It was with the Activision Blizzard. See what I mean? I can't talk. Activision Blizzard buyout from Xbox. Not to mention with the merger and stuff, and it's just he's a giant asshole. Let's just say that. It's more about profits and the good old boy culture and a boys frat house kind of thing, and when it comes to light, it's easier to sweep it under the rug and blame everybody else and keep everybody quiet. Which didn't work. So
yeah. I mean, all of those giant corporate like conglomerations, like the mergers that ended up happening and the acquisitions. I'm sure you've talked about it a million times in the past, but it's a whole thing, man. It's a whole thing.
Acquisitions and mergers can be exciting too sometimes. My reason for saying that is like Embracer Group. I'm not sure if you're familiar with them, but they went on a spending spree as well and bought a lot of rights to some old games.
Oh, cool.
And the problem with that is they were hinging on a deal to it's like getting an influx of cash based on a deal somewhere because of the titles that they had, and it ended up falling through. And because it fell through, they were out millions of dollars, and then they started having to sell off IP rights and lay off people and stuff. So, games like Gex and stuff that could have seen a new remake or remaster of those might not see the light of day. I'm blanking on a handful of the titles that they got because I don't have the list in front of me, but It's up there on the list somewhere. We can find it at some time, put it up online for people to look at. But there was a handful of titles that they had that they just were like, don't have them now. Got to make money.
I love it.
It's just like when people mishandle the IPs, everybody else suffers because then you're missing out on some of the greater titles from back in our heyday too.
I mean, when we were just talking about that last time too, like there are so many IPs, and I know this is probably going to be a better conversation topic for like let's talk about, but so many IPs that you want to go back and you're like, why haven't they done anything with this? You know?
Yeah, why not make a Booger Man, a new one?
Yeah. Why not a Jumping Flash 3?
Oh, dude, a new Comic Zone would be cool.
That's what I'm saying.
That'd be neat.
It was funny. It's actually a weird tangential thing, but like again, I've been trying to pick up more games because again, I've been out of the loop for it, and I'm playing a lot of old games. And one of them was Mario Picross, and I am. That game is so good.
Dude, you are speaking my language. I fucking love Picross.
Oh.
I have books of Picross that I do just for fun. I've got Picross on the DS. I've got the original Game Boy Picross. I've got it on the Switch that I play all the time. I love Picross.
I'm hugging you through my camera right now because I did not. So I mean, I knew of it, you know, but I was like, all right, whatever. And I was just bored one day, and I was like, all right, I want a game that, you know, there are days where I'm like, I want a story-heavy game where I can be completely immersed in a world. And then there's sometimes I want to have a little thing where you just mark off little squares to make, and the best part,
make a picture,
right? And the best part is, so they have it on the Switch Virtual Console thing, and the funniest part about it is the one for Game Boy is obviously localized for the U.S. or at least localized in English. But the one for Super Nintendo isn't.
No, it's not. That's the one I play too.
I love it. I love it. I love it because like the easy levels are all Japanese characters, and you're like Japanese like alphabet characters, kanji or whatever, and you're playing through it, and you're like, I have no idea what this is, and then you'll get it, and it'll present it, and I'll be like, I have no idea what that is, man.
It's like, yes, that's that symbol.
That's
Thank
that
you.
thing. Yes.
I gotta see if I can find the book. Oh, here's one. It's not the book, but this was from. Oh, it's funny. This was from Dollar Shave Club. They had one similar, and it was called a Rompecabezza, whatever the hell that means. There are books that I have of them, and they are all full. Come on, focus. But yeah, you get the idea. You know what that is.
I know exactly what that is.
I have puzzle books full of these that are these kind of things. I love doing them.
Oh, they're so much fun.
Meg actually, I was going to Alabama for my grandfather's funeral, and she came home with 2 of those books. It was like, I know you like doing these puzzles, so here you go. I'm like, oh, it's going to be fun.
So
I mean, funerals are not fun, but the puzzles are fun.
To be fair, it's funny because recently I lost my mom, and one of the things we liked to do was the New York Times crossword. At the time, she couldn't really focus. She had cancer, and since she's passed, one of the things I've been doing religiously daily is the New York Times crossword, which again, it's the most old person thing ever. It really is, but it is so much fun, and I don't know why. It scratches an itch, and Picross does the same thing, where you're like, it's soothing when you actually get through one of the puzzles, and you're like, this is great.
Yes. I don't do the crossword, but I do everything else on the You York Times stuff. So I'm right there with you.
So it's funny because most people, I mean, Terry does them. But Terry does. Do you pay for the subscription or do you have the free one?
I'm this close to doing it.
Oh man, I'll be honest with you. Don't, because the one thing that it locks you out of if you have the free is not the full crossword, but the minute you pay for it, they give you every crossword that's ever been made by the New York Times. And then there are going to be moments where your loved ones are going to look at you and tell you something meaningful and important. And you're going to be like, what is a 4-letter word for multiple beer holding vats? Kegs. Just type it all out, man. Good stuff.
Sounds fun. Yeah. Oh, since we're talking about publications and things, Forbes put out Forbes specifically. Oh shit, I forgot his name. Paul Tassi. I follow him online every so often because he likes to cover a lot of Destiny news, and sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. Typical articles. You win some, you lose some. But he put out an article recently talking about Destiny's new DLC. I would say expansion, but it's their new content drop for the next year or so called Edge of Fate. Just dropped on Tuesday, and apparently on Steam it didn't even break 100,000. And I think at its peak was like 500,000 or more on Steam alone, and then you have to take into consideration the consoles as well. So I'm pretty sure that they broke 100,000 total, but console makers don't publish their numbers or anything, so you have no idea how that looks. So they usually use Steam as a proxy for that. But the fact that it was at I think you have the article up. It was at my 98,371 or something like that. How far off am I?
You were close. It was clocking in at 99,193.
Okay, not too bad. Pulling a number out of my ass wasn't too bad.
Math.
Yes.
That's what math is. Math is just pulling numbers out of your ass.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, it's funny because it was actually something that I was going to actually put an article in for the talking points today on Destiny and how someone at Bungie was like, basically we can't get new people to jump on anymore because we don't like the beginning part of the game. It doesn't exist anymore.
Yes, the new light stuff and onboarding new players. Okay. A little bit of backstory for Destiny. Mike and I, let me get my words correct. Mike and I have been playing Destiny for the better part of the last, I'm going to say 2 years. He has been playing it since D2 started. I have been playing Destiny since Destiny 1 started. So for the last 10 to 11 years, I've been on Destiny. We've been full on into it, shelling out money, buying the DLCs, the expansions, all that fun shit. I have not been excited for this new expansion.
Why?
Yeah. They've changed a lot of things in it, and it basically reset all the progress that I've made for the new stuff, and I don't feel like doing that all over again. I've spent the better part of 10 years building up my character, getting these things, and they have turned it around and said, okay, everybody's the same now, all your stuff's obsolete, do it again. And that's just that makes me not want to play it. I've been reading up on the news about it since it came out, keeping up with what's going on. I like the sound of the story and what they're doing with it, but I don't like the idea of going in and having to redo everything just to get back into the story and get to where I was before.
See, I feel like
the new light.
Yeah, go on.
Go ahead.
No. I
No, you go.
No.
I'm going to talk about the new light thing afterwards. So you go.
So it's interesting, right? Because I've never really gotten into the MMO space at all. I appreciate it, and this is not a slam toward it at all. Destiny has always seemed like something I've always wanted to get into, and I honestly
now is the perfect time because it's all new.
Yeah, maybe I'll jump into it. I mean, but here's the thing, right? Is it, in your opinion, is it in order to make some omelet, you have to break some eggs, where it's okay, we want to change the status quo of this universe. We have to completely remove people who have been playing the game for the better part of a decade. Is there any saving grace as a longtime player of the game to having to start again? Or is this basically the end for you?
No, I don't think it's the end. Reading up on the story and seeing how good it's been and not having the rest of the pieces to the puzzle, I want to know what's going on because I love the story of Destiny and the setting and all that stuff. Just because I like space, I like technical stuff, I like science things, I like all that kind of stuff. It hits all the right notes. The problem is usually the execution and being able to keep up with gameplay and keep it fresh for them. This kind of answers all that, but the changes to gameplay don't offset the it doesn't really offset the way things have changed. Like it's cool fundamentally, but from everything that I'm seeing, it's the story is what's carrying the expansion. A lot of what they said was going to be what things were going to be like or what could happen is not entirely that, or it's not fully what they said it would be, such as one of the new abilities for the new planet that you get to visit to, which is the whole thing of the expansion, is turning into like they harken it to Metroidvania style, including to where you become a ball of energy and you go through little pipes and stuff, a la Metroid, to get to places and stuff like that. But it is so constant from what I've seen that in the DLC that that's the focus rather than the gameplay itself is doing that stuff, and that kind of takes away from it. But I'm still probably going to hop on and I'm still going to play it and give it a shot, but I don't think that I'm going to be doing it as hardcore as I did.
Is that kind of the thing now, right? I think I said something similar last time. Is that basically the thing of you're not playing the game well, you're playing it for enjoyment. Obviously, you love the game. You want to get back into it. But at the end of the day, it's not just purely for enjoyment. You're getting your fix, right? Like
Yes, that dude, Destiny is like crack, and so many people that are in the community have said that because it. Once you play the game, you'll see what I mean. Destiny, no, not Destiny. Bungie itself is, if nothing else, great at gunplay. The way that all the weapons feel, the way that the game itself, like the gameplay moment to moment, the jumping, running, the vistas, the skybox, the location, all that stuff is great. They just it's the leadership at Bungie that likes to fuck things over. Now, I want to go back to the new light thing. They have been trying to answer that question for years now. They have redone the tutorials, they have redone things, they have introduced new stuff, added extra exotics for people to like grab as soon as you start playing, but it doesn't answer where things are or how you get to them. They tried to answer that with this new expansion with changing out what was called the director, which had all the planets, it had your quests, it had your friends list and all this fun stuff. They've taken away a lot of the extra menus and have now replaced it with portals. So you can just jump into action or jump into different playlists or whatever you want. That doesn't answer onboarding new players who have no idea what the hell's going on. And a little quick video that's a minute or two saying, here's everything that's happened up until now. It doesn't really answer that question either.
it's like trying to. I'm assuming, and again, having no experience with Destiny, it'd be like you're. Again, we'll go back to the Assassin's Creed, my first foray into this podcast. It's like you're a new person, you're trying to get into, and you buy Valhalla. And you're like, what is the story that is going on in this game? And they're like, buckle in. And then they give you a 30-second overview of Desmond, stopping the apocalypse. And you're like, wait, I thought I was going to be playing as a Viking. What is going on here?
Mm-hmm.
That's tough.
I've loved Bungie ever since they made Halo and even the games before then. It's sad to see how much things have changed, and I can only blame leadership.
Yeah,
and you know what? It's gotten so bad too that there's a lot of people in the Destiny community that are like, what's the right word? They've been beaten down by all this stuff, like the constant layoffs, the backlash from things, the shit that's going on at the studio that we've heard about. That people are like, since they were acquired by Sony, they're just ready to say, go ahead, Sony, step in, kill the leadership, and you take over. Maybe you can right the ship now. Which is a crazy notion, too, because you do that, the old Bungie is not going to be there anymore.
Right. What is the Theseus ship? If you take all the boards off of the ship
of Theseus.
Still the same ship. Yeah.
Yes.
Right. And it's...
Yep.
I mean, and it's funny because, again, I'm a Sony guy through and through. And I'll be honest with you, in terms of like dealing with their exclusive IPs, they do a really good job. They
do.
They really do. And like, they seem to, and maybe less so in recent years, but they've had their finger on the pulse of what the PlayStation community has seemed to want.
Yes. I think PlayStation also is a lot hands off, a lot more hands off than a lot of studios are. They see what the studios want to do. They'll offer their suggestions. They'll do whatever their part is. But for the most part, it seems like a lot of these studios are free to do as they will, and I think that's why we've gotten Insomniac Spider-Man the way they did, or Helldivers 2, and things like that.
Oh, I gotta play Helldivers.
I love it. That was the first game I bought on the PS5 when I got it.
I think there's so many games that I want to get into, but again, like, I'm just what?
I just thought I was like you said I forgot what game you already said, but I was like, oh yeah, I downloaded Death Stranding because I said I was going to play it, and I've been stuck on Control again because I wanted the immersion.
Oh, Control is great. Control is
I love it.
Phenomenal.
I didn't. You know what's funny is I beat the hell out of it on Xbox and all the DLC and stuff. So I was like, what would be the point of playing this again? So I downloaded it on the PlayStation so I could get the trophies. I love that game.
There are so many games, and I know this is probably going to be a topic we should do on a separate one, but like the games that really get you, like the games where you're like, all right, I've beaten this game, I know all the story beats, I know the gameplay, just going to go through it one more time. Like when you find a game like that, oh, it's so good.
Since I threw that out last and ran out, do you like David Lynch? Are you aware of his work?
Oh yeah.
Seen anything?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Because a lot of Remedy games feel like they're inspired by his work and stuff like that, and I feel like they're on the record as saying so. Like Sam Lake is a big David Lynch fan for sure.
Totally. And I one of the games that I really want to get into is going to be I have the remake for Alan Wake. I got to play that. It seems so cool, and I want to play Alan Wake too. And the thing about Control, like, I got like halfway through, and it's not that it's I wanted to finish it, but like, it's so deep. There's so much happening, and I'm like, eventually I was like, I'm gonna go to something else, and then I completely bailed on it like a jerk.
I don't want to make this harder on you because of that, but like Alan Wake, Quantum Break, Control, all those things are tied together in some form or fashion too.
Oh, I know.
And I love that.
Oh yeah, there's a DLC for, I think is it Alan Wake 2 that ties into Control?
Both ways actually. Control had a lead into Alan Wake 2, and Alan Wake 2 has a lead into Control 2.
All right.
I'm sorry, was that a spoiler?
No, that's
the DLC is like I'm not gonna say it leads, or well, it does lead into it, but I'm not spoiling anything by saying anything about it. It's just you play through the stuff, and then you'll get a little video, and it's very clearly controlled. But then it's like, well, that's not the setting from the first one. That's not the same thing. That's not this. So it's like, oh, it's a new shot from the game that they're making. Okay.
All right. I do love how they do the interspersed like live action filming with the game itself.
Yes. You know, Remedy makes some interesting games, and not just in gameplay wise or the focus of it, but the way that they use some things. My specific example is, like you were saying, they'll use live action and CG renderings for people walking around doing things and animating whatever. They also have actual projections in the game. Like they leaned into it hard with Alan Wake 2, but in Control they had an overlay basically where it was you're walking down the hall, but then it's like another screen on top of that with a silhouette of a person against another silhouette, and they're talking to you. Besides that, they actually have working projectors in the game that sit there, show up on a white screen, and will show you a live-action video of something that you can push around and is still playing in there. I thought that was really cool.
I like that. See, that's one of the things that I wish there was, and I think that Remedy's good at that, is like towing the line of artistic interpretation and also...
They're very cinematic.
Right. And like that's what I want, especially in a story-heavy game. That's what I'm looking for, you know?
Yep. Where did we go? How do we get off on all this?
I don't
Where
know.
were we? Oh, we were Destiny to Remedy.
Destiny to Remedy. I mean, I guess it's a good juxtaposition, right? I think that when you have a really story-heavy, long-running game series, you can eventually, if you start to change things in the game series, then, I mean, and the one thing I do like about Remedy is, like, if I wanted to pick up, I started with Control, right?
Mm-hmm. Really? You didn't play any of the other ones?
Well,
did you ever play Max Payne?
No.
Wow. Okay.
And I mean, I know of it. Again, like,
Yeah.
I've seen gameplay for the past however many years, but I mean, at this point, like, I really didn't Max Payne get sold to Rockstar?
Yes, sir. And that's how they made 3.
I'm curious about that one.
Remedy also just recently got the rights back for, I think it was Max Payne 1 and 2, and they're full in on doing a remaster of them.
That'd be nice.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, again, back to this thing of remastering IPs that have kind of gone stagnant. Like, are we going to get a Max Payne 4? I mean, I don't know. Like, Rockstar seems to just put out a game every 15 years, and they're like, here you go.
That might be tough, and I think a lot of people want one, but also don't, because not long after Alan Wake 2 came out, the voice who does Max Payne's voice was in that game too. Not long after that, he passed away. So he was the voice of Max Payne originally. So
Right.
making a new one's going to be a little different.
Yeah, man.
Speaking of things that are different, you know who Ken Levine is, don't you?
Oh,
Creator of
Ken Levine?
Bioshock.
I was just, yeah, I might have heard of that game once or twice.
So I don't know if you've heard of his new game that he's been making called Judas. I think it was last year, finally got a trailer to show off what it looked like. I don't feel like this is a gotcha statement anymore like it used to be, but apparently he's on the record as saying that Judas is going to be old school and it has no monetization or live service. Is this something that needs to be thrown out now when games are made? Because, we've also had Final Fantasy VII Remake, and we've also had, I was going to say Elden Ring, but that's not really PvP focused or multiplayer, it's single player. But, like, there's been plenty of single player games that have come out that are not live service or has monetization in it.
Right.
So is this really like a gotcha kind of statement?
I feel like it's more of a qualifier at this point, right? Because, like...
That's fair, yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, like, I know that look, you have, like, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. You have the Batman game that came out. You have these games where you're like...
We're just naming bad games?
I mean, I think part of the issue is, and, oh my god, the Arcane game that came out that was going to end up becoming, like, a looter shooter or whatever, where
which one? Because I love Arcane. Oh, I know what it was.
Yeah.
Redfall,
right? Where the one where it was like, and I feel like
that game wasn't ready.
It wasn't ready, but also like they wanted to add in things like make it not free to play, but like they wanted to add like microtransaction monetization, right? And at the end of the day, do you need to add that to every game, man? Like, I feel like...
Here's my question. Was that an Arcane decision, or was that an Xbox decision?
So, and I've heard a lot of... And again, I don't know. I'm not in the game industry, but I've heard a lot of kind of pushback where people are saying things like, Arcane got, a memo saying, you need to add this to the game. And they're like, okay. And then they added the sloppiest way possible.
That game just needed some more time in the oven, especially for like what all they tried to do. It felt half-baked when it came out. And to their credit, they tried to update it and stuff like that, but then the Xbox was just like, goodbye.
So
fun
bad
stuff.
I mean, and it's funny because like, and speaking of BioShock, such a good game. And I was playing BioShock Infinite a couple of years ago because, again, like
I love that game too.
It's so good. It's so good, and it's such a unique world. And again, like
Ken Levine is a really good writer.
He really is. Like he's a good writer. he's the fact that you could put out a game like BioShock, and then BioShock does well enough that you get a BioShock 2, and then that does well enough that you do a BioShock Infinite, and again, having that all tie into a universe that, you know,
he tied all the universes together, which I was like, oh wow, this is pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
And another little fun fact about Infinite 2, if I'm not mistaken, is I believe he has said in an article that he has brought in one or two different kinds of scientists to like make sense of the quantum theory and things like that are in the game. Right. Like he actually brought in specialists for this, so that way it was real, like fit the real world physics and stuff. I was like, that's cool, because he has an interest in this thing. Like he's talked about what he likes about it, and like gone on and explained some stuff in some interviews, and I'm like, that's interesting.
Oh. Ooh, I see something. Speaking of sequels to games that might be coming out, Fallout 5. You had put that in.
Yeah. Yes, I did. It got greenlit, and all I could think of was, did it not get greenlit before?
Right? Like, there's a freaking mini-series. There's a series on Amazon Prime for...
Which was excellent.
I know, I have to watch it.
Man, it is really raining outside. Jesus.
Yeah.
What is he doing with his tongue?
He is bloodhounding it up.
He's so cute.
He is really cute. He's a sweet dog too. He's so. We'll go on a quick dog tangent, then we'll get back to the video games.
Okay.
Dogs, you have dogs, we have dogs. It's hit or miss when you get a puppy, and I think that he is probably the best puppy that we have ever gotten in terms of being calm, which you can't pay for it, man. Like, we didn't think it would happen. We were really against getting a puppy. We wanted to adopt a older dog. We got a 5-month-old, and he is the sweetest thing. But he's also he doesn't listen to us because he's too cute, and we can't be disciplinarians because he's so.
He knows he can get away with it.
Oh, he definitely knows.
Just seems like a really good dog.
Fallout 5.
Have you played any of the Fallout games?
Oh yeah, so I played.
Sorry for cutting you off.
Oh no, that's fine. Played 3, played 4, didn't play New Vegas, which is.
That's the one you need to play.
I know, and that's the one that everyone's basically is like, this is the one that you should play.
Hey, let me step all over that. I personally don't really like New Vegas. I love 3. New Vegas is to me.
I remember the first time I played 3, and I had just gotten a PlayStation 3, and I put it in, and the moment you walk out of the vault for the first time, I was like, Jesus,
it's a big moment.
It was wild. Fallout 4.
You know what it is?
What?
I'm sorry.
No.
You know what that is? That same moment is exactly like Legend of Zelda when you first step out of the cave and see the Grand Plateau or whatever right in front of you.
Wasn't I saying that to Mike? Where I'm like, if my thing is this: if you are going to play Breath of the Wild, if you want to play it, you get your Switch, fine. Don't play it in handheld mode until you get through the opening title screen. Once you get to the opening title screen, you're good.
Yeah.
But
I agree.
Until then, you put it on the biggest screen that you have in your house. And then you just bask in the glory that is Hyrule. Because...
Yeah.
And it was the same thing with Fallout 3. Fallout 4... Look...
Fallout 4 didn't have that moment for me, I think.
No. And
It was more of the surprise that you see the bombs drop, because there was always talk about what happened, how, when, all that fun stuff. But now you got to see it.
True. As somebody who was born and raised in Massachusetts, they took some liberties with, where things are and how big things are and what you do in those specific places. But it's a good game. The one thing that I was like... And I know why they tried to do it, but I was not on board with the base building aspect.
Yeah, not really me either.
Yeah, like I was like, nah, I'm fine.
It felt like a fleshed out thing, but it also felt kind of tacked on and additional. And they also tried to tie it into the gameplay and the story. Like, you help the Minutemen, and then you go around to the different settlements and building up the bases and stuff so that way they can fortify it. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm not gonna do that.
Right. Like, and it's funny because then, like, later on, watching Let's Plays on it, it's like, that's one of the best things you can do because you can get loot, but it's not fun. There was no point what I was doing, I was like, this is great. It's not, it's
Yeah.
like,
You have to really like that to do that.
it's like Fortnite, but without the frenetic insanity.
Mm-hmm. I'm hoping that you have more of the information on this. Jumping off to another topic, the YouTuber that may go to jail for the emulator reviews. I read up on that a bit. I don't know what's happened. I just know like the gist of the story. So if you've read it, can you fill me in?
I only flipped through it slightly because I did think it was an interesting. It was an interesting read, basically of this games as the legality of emulation versus kind of the importance of it, where this YouTuber who does game reviews and whatever, he one of his aspects of his channel is that he did what is it, Anbernic, the little the little emulator handheld units. He would do reviews of games on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And evidently, again, he's not in the U.S. He wasn't based in the U.S. He was based in Italy. Maybe the legality of it's different there, but like, police stormed his house and was like, "Hey, you can't do that." Took his phone. They took all of his emulator devices, and it's funny.
The reasoning for it was because he was getting SD cards in the mail, and they said that it could have was it illegal games on it or emulated games?
Yeah,
it was the SD cards that they pinged him for.
Right, because they said it's going to be pirated games, and it's funny because
I'm sure he's not laughing.
No, I mean it's it's funny in the this is again tragic, like a clown falling down the stairs, where
I don't know why that's so funny. I'm just picturing a clown falling down the stairs. Why'd you do that to me?
And you're imagining his nose honking at each stair that he hits.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. How did you know?
I don't know if did you ever watch Detroiters? It's a very funny show.
No.
And basically, there's one episode.
I'm from Detroit.
Then you should definitely watch it. So
okay.
It's
I'll give it a shot then.
It's Tim Robinson, very funny. But
oh no, I can't do it then. I don't like Tim Robinson. I don't think he's funny.
We're gonna circle back to that. Ooh, that burns. Anyways,
okay. Here, I made Brian mad too because not really mad, but him and Meg both I think you should leave, and I'm like, that show is not funny at all. I've sat through a couple episodes and just looking at him like, no, none of this is funny.
I think you should leave, and Tim Robinson in general, if you like it, and I love it. I think it's one of the funniest things. I just saw his new movie, Friendship. I get it. Mm-hmm. If you don't like it, I get it. I totally understand. I'm not going to be like, you're wrong. You're wrong. But I'm
entitled to my own opinion.
It's not an opinion if it's fact, friend. Anyways, so this poor YouTuber trying to make a living, got dinged for pirated copies of games. Not jazzed about it.
Well, again, we don't know if it's actually pirated, though, right? Did they ever say if it was?
No, they just said that they impounded all of his shit. So, at the end of the day, could it have been? We don't know. Again, it's also Italy. Things are probably different there, and the legal ramifications might be completely different. That being said, still quite
I'm glad
a
you said that, too, because that's a perfect lead into another one. Nintendo. We all know that Nintendo can disable the Switch 2s here in the U.S., but apparently they cannot do it over in Europe, according to their EULA.
Ooh.
Yeah.
For the first time that anyone would read in EULA.
Mm-hmm.
That's really
Yep,
interesting.
I found that really interesting.
So, and I'm actually curious about that, right? So, like, if you brought your Switch to Europe, did some untoward jailbreaking on it, and then brought it back to the U.S., the minute you step off the plane and you connect it to a connection, is Nintendo coming for you?
That is a very good question. From the article, it says Nintendo can only prevent access to pirated software over in Europe. I'm wondering if the Switches going to the different places are geocoded for where they are. Because you know how you'll get games that are PAL version or NTSC?
Right,
It's the same idea.
right. But I'm wondering, like, again, it's an interesting topic, right? So if you're on a VPN, could you, in theory, like buy a European version of Switch, go on a VPN, and pirate to your heart's content?
Well, then you don't have to worry about anything because you're on a VPN.
Good point. All right.
But that's
Well,
more tracking back to where you are and hiding your location. If they are able to detect pirate software on the Switch, then I think that they would still be able to block access to it.
all right.
Just
Well,
thinking about how servers work and stuff.
well, and again, to kind of tangent on that one, looking because again, Shawnee's going to end up buying one at some point.
You and me both.
I hate the fact that I'm going to, but it looks like we are going
Yep.
to not be able to get Switches for quite some time. It looks like we're going to have shortages until at least next year.
Oh, yeah?
Oh yeah, looking like we're going to get it. It will become more readily available in spring of next year.
Oh, God, really? That long? That's crazy.
I mean,
That's a far cry from when they first put out the Switch 2, because if I'm not mistaken, I read an article where they were talking about how much they sold and all that fun stuff, and that they weren't worried about the numbers at first because there were still enough to go around and hitting stores. But I guess the adoption rate has been pretty good that they need more,
I mean,
or is it just stocks are running low?
well, I mean, I'm like you had said, this is what the fastest selling console of all time.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm assuming, and again, I was watching a thing on the Gaming Historian about the Super Nintendo, and basically,
He's not putting out video games anymore, or video games. Jesus Christ, he's not putting out videos anymore, is he? Because he was. I'm sorry to cut you off and keep talking about stuff, but I watched him for a while too, and he was putting out videos on a more longer cadence. It was taking him longer to edit stuff, and I think he stepped away for a while so he can do something else because it was taking so long because of all the work that was going into it.
huh? It's funny. I only just started listening to his stuff recently. I'm a big proponent of like having long form video stuff in the background when I'm doing stuff.
Video documentaries, yeah,
Yeah,
especially stuff that you're interested in. So all of his stuff are great.
totally, totally. One thing, and again, tangential topic. If you're into that, if you're a comic book person, I say listen to Sir Superhero. I saw him on TikTok. He has long form videos on the YouTubes. Fantastic. That being said,
Nice.
in this video, he like casually drops in that Nintendo, like, there was a chip shortage when they were making the SNES, but they also kind of manufactured some of their shortages to increase demand. I'm sure there's something in there. I'm not saying they're doing it, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's somebody in Nintendo corporate who's like, well, if we make less, then people are going to want more of it.
There was a run for a time where it certainly seemed like Nintendo was making an artificial shortage on games. I want to say it was 2009, 10-ish. Like, the games are there. You can, like, they're putting them out, but you couldn't find them anywhere for whatever reason. Whether it was because they couldn't get the discs to manufacture or they were just holding on to them because they wanted to do that. And the whole Mario Sunshine, Mario 35 limited time release thing is also a form of scarcity because once you miss it, it's gone.
Right.
So I feel like that's kind of in Nintendo's wheelhouse.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they did that, because in all honesty, like, I'm not jazzed about this idea, but it makes sense, I guess. But from a business perspective, but it doesn't make sense from an ethical perspective, in my
Yep.
humble opinion.
Yeah, but businesses don't make decisions for the betterment of people, unfortunately.
I hear you, my friend. I hear you. All right.
Well, at least we have some time to build up some money, and then we can buy a Switch 2 next spring. And by then, they'll have a lot more games out. And if it's anything like Donkey Kong Bonanza's been, then we're going to be eating good next spring.
Oh, tell me more,
because apparently the reviews are in for Donkey Kong Bonanza, since I think the review embargo is up today and it comes out tomorrow. It's sitting at a 91 average with 100% recommended so far. This is between Metacritic and I forget the other one. But apparently why'd you strike through my thing?
Oh, I'm marking it off so that way we know in case we want to bring it up next time.
I was just like, what happened to my words? You did it. Okay. But apparently the Mario Odyssey team hit it out of the park with Donkey Kong Bonanza 2. Apparently it's great. Some performance issues. I don't remember reading if it was in handheld or docked, which the funny thing is that I saw, apparently games ran better in handheld mode rather than in dock mode on the Switch 1. There was a handful of games that would run better in handheld mode, which I feel like is backwards.
Yeah, that is weird. I mean, again, it's running on the same hardware, but you would think that's weird.
I don't know. It's interesting. But apparently that's the only gripe, is that some performance issues, some hiccups, but the story is apparently great too. Which is very interesting coming from that, because the only other Donkey Kong game similar that we had was DK64, and I think that story was okay. It's one of Meg's favorite games, so.
I've never, you know what? It's funny. I've been watching Bismuth. He's another YouTube guy. He does long term.
The Crystal?
Huh? Yeah.
You said Bismuth, the Crystal.
I'm assuming, though his icon is a giant banana.
Okay.
So if you're into summoning salts, he basically does a similar thing, but instead of summoning salt, who does a lot more, like, does it for like a ESPN 30 or 30, like, kind of documentary.
I'm not a sports person. I don't know what you're talking about.
Neither am I. Don't worry. But if you're like, they do a documentary format about just the state of speed gaming. He does more about the mechanics of it, which is really interesting, and basically how people break the game. And he does a whole thing on the Donkey Kong 64 speedrunning, and I think they beat the game in something like 2 minutes or something like that, which is wild because, again, that was at the time it was known for its like massive amount of collectibles. But
if that was any of those Rare games were all collectible based.
Rare, what happened?
I can tell you what happened. They stopped doing things with Nintendo and went to Xbox, and then they made Sea of Thieves.
Oh, Sea of Thieves. They tried.
Sea of Thieves is really good.
Is it?
Yes, it's great.
I'm sorry. I can't.
You're thinking of Ubisoft.
Yes.
Skull and Bones, man. That one's terrible.
As I was saying that, I'm like, oh, no, wait. This is incorrect. I am saying the wrong thing. Wrong pirate game.
But fun fact, if you didn't know, Skull and Bones is only made because the boating and stuff from Assassin's Creed Black Flag was so good.
Oh, I know.
They thought that they could turn a whole game off of it, and look what happened.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. They could have. That could have happened. But they didn't want to invest the money. I think the thing was they had the idea. They thought it was a good idea. They didn't know how to implement the idea. And then eventually they were like, oh, well, we can just, we can put anything out there. It's been in development for the past 5 years.
Sunk cost fallacy. You might as well just put something out.
I know. Whew. Gotta love it, my friend.
So I know we're getting to be about time. Oh, I need to highlight this too. Since SGDQ finished, they ended up raising almost $2.5 million. They got two $2,436,885 for Doctors Without Borders.
Good on them.
That is awesome.
That is awesome.
Listening back to the podcast last week, I conflated numbers and didn't make it make sense. But generally, when they finish their runs on the Sundays and stuff like that, their totals are around like 2.1, 2.4 or so like that. And they do these runs twice a year, generally, AGDQ and SGDQ.
Right.
So that's essentially $5 million a year for cancer research, Doctors Without Borders, and healthcare and stuff like that, which is fucking awesome.
Yeah, I mean, this is the kind of thing that I love to see in this community. Like, there's been so many Gamergate bullshit things that have happened where you look at, I mean, I can imagine people outside of the community being like, oh yeah, it's a bunch of like, neckbeards. I can't say anything because I do have a neckbeard at the moment. But,
yeah, me neither.
Yeah. Well, no, you have a beard, not a neckbeard.
I got a neckbeard too. It's hiding.
But like, I can imagine people outside the community seeing that there is good that is being done, for every YouTuber Let's Player who gets, shamed into disgrace because they're in a horrible scandal, there is something like this that falls under the radar. So I'm glad you brought it up. I am.
So I know that we're over an hour, maybe a little less time because of the pauses and things that I had to run out and do. But I had some ideas of things to discuss at the bottom. I wanted to get your take on them. I would have got Mike's take, but he's not here, so that's okay. As you can see down there, I was thinking about games that are re-released multiple times. If it's not in the same year, a year after, maybe 2 years after, but games will come out, they'll have the base game, then they'll introduce DLC or new monetization stuff or skins and things, and then they start rolling them into different releases of the game, like the basic edition, the Ultimate Edition, the Hardcore Edition, all that fun, happy shit. Do we need that? Does it really help their bottom line? Like, I get the idea of doing it. There's a lot of people who like to wait for deals and like games to go on sale and stuff, and sometimes they know that DLC is going to come out, so they want to get the whole game at first, or the whole game in one shot. It's just, it gets confusing. And there's a handful of games that have the different versions of them that you're like, well, I wanted this one, but I accidentally bought the other one, and they're not going to give me a refund because of that, so I'm stuck with this now.
I have a great
anecdote
on that one.
Bring it.
So, I didn't buy Elden Ring when it came out. I'm okay with FromSoft. I'm not the biggest.
I did.
Most people did. After a point, again, I wasn't playing games for a while, and saw it, and I saw that they were putting out the Erd Tree DLC, and I was like, oh, you know what, I'll pick it up. Whatever. I have a little extra money in my budget this month. Let's do it. So I bought the DLC, but it didn't come with the game. So I thought that I was paying a lot of money for the game, the base game, and the DLC. Instead, I just bought the DLC and like a digital package that I can't do anything with ever. And I'm like one of the, you get the digital flip book of like art from the game. Right, I have that and the DLC, but no game. I can't play the game. And at that point, I was like, shit, man. And then I got frustrated at the fact that I don't think I got taken for a ride. I think I just accidentally clicked the wrong version. I don't mind the idea of there being, re-releases in the lifespan of a console for, speaking of PlayStation does their greatest hits. Fine.
That's a very good, I can't even think of the right word. Distinction between the two. I like when you said same console generation, because there are some games that do the same thing, but then they're on the edge of the next generation where they'll re-release it with updated stuff for the next one too. Which, that makes sense. I totally get that.
Right. I think the thing that bothers me is when you get into The Last of Us Part 1 versus The Last of Us original game. Now,
that is a very good example of what we're talking about. They released that damn game way too many times.
And so I bought The Last of Us remember how they re-released it for the next console generation when, PS4, Xbox One, or whatever came out.
Yep.
Fine. I bought that version. I played it for a little bit. Whatever. I went back, and I'll give them credit for this. You could buy the upgrade for $10 or something. They made a special deal, but initially they didn't. Right? So I don't mind the idea of, if you really love a game or you didn't jump onto it, like, again, Elden Ring. If on the PlayStation 6 or the Xbox, 1 billion Omega, they were like...
What are they going to call it next?
Who knows? If they were like, okay, we're going to re-release Elden Ring, just to get people back into it, am I jazzed about that? No. I do think that if you had already purchased the game, you should be able to get some sort of dispensation for it. Because, again, I think we talked about this. I don't even know if we talked about it on the podcast or if we talked about it afterwards, but what is the game that you've bought for multiple systems?
On the podcast.
Right, over and over and over and over again. And there are games that I've done that for. Chrono Trigger is one of them. But I don't love the idea of basically being strong-armed into buying a new old game because somebody was like, hey, you know what, if we re-release it as a digital only, we're going to make $50 billion. And I'm like, shit, you know what, might as well. It's like, I don't know. I'm of two minds of it. If you're going to do a remake, do something with it. If you're just going to be re-releasing the same stuff over and over and over again, just spare me.
I don't know why maybe Steam does this. I don't know. I'm not in that ecosystem a lot. But why is there not some sort of flag on the console store or something saying, hey, you don't own this game if it's a DLC or something that you're trying to buy?
I know. I thought it would stop me. And normally it does. Normally it will say, it'll be emblazoned somewhere, you do not own the base game. But again, even in this specific instance, I don't think this is like them being untoward. I think it's just me being a dum-dum. But like at the same time, I'm like, man, like, what am I supposed to do with this now? And again, like now, out of principle, I'm not buying it, which I'm like...
Would you even download it if it was on like one of
of
the PS Pluses or whatever?
Of course. In a heartbeat. Who are we kidding? If they were like, we're going to charge you $5 less, I'd be like, sold. And I would never play it. That's the worst part, is I would buy it.
Crumpling under your own conviction here.
I know. Hoisted by my own petard.
There you go. All right. Last quick question for you.
Yes.
What is this came up on the game subreddit that I was looking at, and I took it as song or soundtrack, so I'm going to throw that at you. What game or games has a song that just made the game for you, that just fit so well and everything clicked once you heard it?
Oh, I mean, again, I am a huge proponent. Chrono Trigger, in my opinion, is the best game that's ever been made. I played that on the original SNES.
It's okay to be wrong.
Shut up. It is my favorite game. I'll put that way. It is my favorite game. And the soundtrack of that game transports me back to a time when I was a kid and things kind of made sense. They didn't make sense, but they made sense. And
it made sense to you.
Made sense to me. And I feel like that's one of the things that recent games... The Horizon games has a really nice soundtrack. Ghost of Tsushima has a really nice soundtrack. There's a lot of the new Doom games. Oh, dude.
I'm biased because I love metal, but yes, the Doom soundtracks, I love them.
Oh, yeah. It is so good. But there's something about a game... Go on. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say that the follow-up to Ghost of Tsushima... the hell is it called? The Ghost of Yotai?
Yep.
That's going to be the next one. They're going to have... what the hell is it called? Watanabe mode or something? But it's basically going to be like Samurai Champloo, the anime. They're going to give... it's going to have a filter on it, and you're going to have lo-fi mode or lo-fi music while you're playing the game, and I was like, oh, that's up my alley. I like lo-fi.
I'm going to be honest with you. That game, we were talking about games that just really grabbed us. That is one of the few games that I've ever platinumed. Like, I played the shit out of that game. It was, and it's...
That's going to make me play it then.
I will be honest with you. Like, you have a PS5, I would pick it up. It is... There are points where you're just doing the stuff. You know what I mean? You're riding around
just to advance the story or whatever.
Not even to advance the story. There's a lot of like errand quests. There's a lot of because you have to clear the map. You actually have to go through the map. But it's so beautiful, and oh god, I gotta play that game again. I never even finished the DLC on it, but I platinumed it. But again, that game. Beautiful music, one of the most heart-wrenching scenes I've ever seen in a game, which I'm not going to tell you because you haven't played it. So when you play it, and
I'm going to have to see it because I have a contender for heart-wrenching scenes too.
Lay it on me.
Dom's death in Gears of War 2. I cried.
Oh,
it was my favorite character.
You haven't lived. You haven't even seen this game. There have been 2 times where, in my adult life, past the age of 30, where I've had an emotional reaction to the game. It's that game, and tying back into your thing of music, it's in Final Fantasy VII Remake. When you get outside of the reactor, and you're fighting the group of soldiers, and the whole time they're teasing the Final Fantasy VII battle music. The entire time, but they never, you never finish it, right? It's just the same beats over and over again.
They're
and
just
then
edging you there.
It's edging you, yeah, right. The game is edging you, and then you get outside and you're fighting these guys, and a bunch of guys pop out, and then the music kicks in.
That sounds great.
Have you played? You've played it.
I have not played it. I gotta play it.
When you play it, because I think it might be available for Xbox now. I know it's on PC.
I think they're working on it. I'm not sure if it's out yet.
But it
might be out in August, actually.
But you have PS5, so and you could probably pick it up for relatively cheap.
I could probably pick it up on the Game Pass equivalent.
So, get it. Play the game. You're going to see exactly what I mean. It is literally like 20 minutes of the theme almost getting to the crescendo and then stopping and then re-rounding. And then you get to the part where it plays. And I remember had my headphones on. It was late at night. Terry was asleep. I was like, I'm going to play this game. And that musical cue, again, going back to when you were a kid, I was like freaking out. I was like, this is the greatest thing ever. And then the other one was Ghost of Tsushima, where the sad thing happens, and I'll be man enough to admit it. When my father passed, I did not shed a tear, not because it wasn't sad. I loved him to death. But when this scene happened, I wept like a child. I was like, and then they just go on. The game just moves on, and you're like, are you fucking kidding me?
And you're just left feeling everything.
Like, damn you.
Like, why would you do this to me?
Why did I pay money for this?
Man, I'm just adding to my list of games I need to play now.
I'm telling you, man.
So my song choice, actually, same idea as you. It actually harkens back to the times when it was easier and things made a little bit more sense. And this is probably going to be one you might have not heard of, and you probably wouldn't even guess, but Golden Sun for the Game Boy Advance. The battle music, when you're playing those, that song has stuck with me for many, many years. I remember charging or getting batteries just so I could leave my Game Boy on a battle so I can have my headphones in and go to sleep listening to the song. I loved it that much.
There's something about a JRPG. They nailed music. They nailed it. Like,
I agree.
Chrono Trigger battle music, just the bass line. It just, the entire time playing through it, it's so good.
That's part of the reason why I love Legend of the Dragoon, too. Their battle music's really good, but like the Royal Castle music, like all the cities, they're so varied, too, and it fits the theme of the cities. The music's always great.
One thing I want to actually, speaking of Dragoon, and we'll bring this up for the next time because I know we're at time. But
Okay.
Panzer Dragoon, I want to get your thoughts on it at some point.
Fun. For a time.
I agree. Speaking of music, by the way, the opening to Battle Panzer Dragoon 2, the opening, just like the select screen, is awesome music.
Oh, I got a bias answer for you too. Legend of Zelda's got great music, always.
I mean, come on, you can't So again, we went with a couple friends to see Video Game Live, the Video Game Music Live. And they were doing it with the Boston Pops. And
I took Mike for his birthday to go see Final Fantasy's music live.
They did Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross, which was awesome.
Ooh.
They did Megalovania,
of course,
which was awesome. They did.
That's got to be awesome hearing it with a live band.
They did Halo, which again, I didn't play Halo, but I was still like, this is awesome.
But the music sticks with everybody, even if you don't play it. The Gregorian chant at the beginning of 2.
They did so many games, and I have to find the list of game music that they played, but every one. That's the thing about this medium. Like, everyone remembers movie themes, but video game themes, if you're a video game head, there's always that one that you remember, and again, like you were saying, leaving your system on. I remember me, my brother, and my cousin, when we were like preteens, playing Chrono Trigger overnight, because you can definitely save, but again, in those times, you couldn't just autosave. You had to find a save point, and a
lot of that is because there was no memory or batteries to have the backups saved onto the thing either. It was all password based.
Oh yeah, and but staying up all night trying to finish that one game. I remember speaking of like Final Fantasy VII, I remember being a teenager, like older, and my brother playing, and he was fighting. Oh my God, was it? I think it was Final Fantasy VII Final Boss, and he had his team, and everyone got killed, and the only person he had left was Sid. And he was like, shit, I'm gonna die. And he beat the final boss, like with just one character still living, and he was like, yeah, and I was like, yeah. It was, dude, you can't beat it, man. You can't beat it.
I see. We can go on forever about this. I have a moment like that too with Legend of the Dragoon. I was on the final boss, and he's got like 8 forms. Not a joke.
Yeah.
3 of them in the middle are just. You're watching them like transform or whatever, and then you have to fight the final one. All my characters went down. My main guys only got like 200 health out of like 1,500, and I just hit him twice, and that was it. And I was like, oh, I did it! Because it was a good hour-long fight alone.
Oh, God. We'll save this for another podcast, but...
Yes.
the having a boss fight that does not take 5 minutes, but actually takes an appreciable amount of your life to finish... We'll talk. That will be next topic for next time. What is that boss battle that you remember?
Let's talk about RPGs. Let's add it to the list.
RPGs, doing it. All right,
folks. You can find us on Instagram, Blue Sky, YouTube, Spotify, Google, all that fun stuff. Other socials. Oh, Threads too. And I try to do fun gaming facts every day now, and like try to post off and on. That's all. Come talk to us. Oh, and a new one. I don't promote it enough, and I don't know where else I can put it on our socials, but send us an email at theramblepackpod@gmail.com. Why not?
That's what I'm saying.
Give us some feedback. Let us know what you think.
Let us know.
All right. You ready to head to bed?
I'm going to go to sleep. I'm going to go snuggle a puppy. You're going to go hang out with your 10 animals.
My wife. She put the girls to bed tonight, so.
Well, it's been real. All right, everybody. See you later.
It's been fun, and it's been really fun.
Yeah.
So, see you, folks.
All right, see you. Bye.